some of scanning
Yes.
a lot of articles, editing books and putting them in Amazon
Yes.
for other people, for people to buy, for other authors,
Yes.
so that people can buy them. I was also into sculpture, like this sculpture you're looking at.
Yeah.
I was the one who.
This one now.
Yeah.
Touch.
I was given this contract. This one now, this hand.
Huh.
Yes. What I did was
I'm going to video this
this place now.
Yes.
This place you see
Yeah.
was fallow. Nothing was here before. So each time I pass as a student, I say, how is it that there's nothing kept in this place? There's no statue in this place. So being a businessman that I am, I had to call somebody who could sponsor it.
Yes.
So the person sponsored it to the tune of 4 million then. Yes. So he sponsored it. Of course, I made my own money out of it too. Because if you are sponsoring it, if all the suffering, I was there with them while we were doing it. So I made my middleman commission out of it. You must be self-disciplined. I remember one day when one of my teachers, then as an undergraduate, he just came to the class. He was my head of department then. He said that this young man called Jephthah Elochukwu has 3 things which I admire. In front of my classmates, he said that I had determination, I had commitment, I had focus. If he at that time could see those virtues in me, then I should subscribe to what he said. I think that I am a person who is determined. But one thing that is affecting all of us, both young and old, is procrastination. Procrastination is a thief of time. What is the meaning of life? At the age of 17, I tried to answer that question. I had just finished secondary school. I went up the mountain. There was a mountain in Mina town then. I came to the understanding that there are certain knowledge which if you don't have before, you would have bliss. But until you have that knowledge, the knowledge cages you. It cages you. For example now, if you are stepping on somebody's toes, you don't know that you are stepping on somebody's toes. You know you will not have any guilt conscience because you don't know you are stepping on somebody's toes. You will just be there stepping on the person's toes and you are still talking with somebody else. There's no guilt in you because you have no knowledge of it. But the moment the person touches you and says, you are stepping on my toes, and the knowledge comes into you, guilt comes into you. You'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. But if you do not have conscience, you will still be stepping on the toes. So there are 2 different human beings now. The one that gains the knowledge knows that he's stepping on the toes of someone and yet continues stepping on the person's toes. That person's conscience is warped. And then the one that as soon as he realizes he's stepping on somebody's toes, he immediately removes his feet. That person's conscience is healthy. But that conscience will not come until knowledge appears. If there is no knowledge, there is no conscience. So that was how I came to my theory called the no knowledge, no conscience theory. At the age of 17, I studied so many people in order to understand the meaning of life. Then after studying all of them, I came upon my own theory about the meaning of life, which is the meaning of life is being born to discover as much as possible the unique talents hidden within the inner self. You discover it for the pleasure of the infinite intelligence, because the infinite intelligence wants to see you exhibit what he has given you.
Yes.
For the pleasure of the infinite intelligence and for disciples to pick up after you have left, to propagate your own ideas for the betterment of this universe. Not only betterment of the earth or betterment of society, but betterment of the universe. That is the meaning of life. Other than that, I don't see anything we are doing here. This universe is ruled by an infinite intelligence. I know that the atheists may think that I am wrong, but with the coincidences happening within the universe, how somebody could figure out all the elements in the periodic table before these elements were seen. He figured them out because already there was order. So he saw the order. So he knew that this one will have this mass number. This one will have this proton number. This one will have this mass number. And he began to name them before seeing them. He began to name them before because there was order in the universe. Who put the order there? Who put these things there? Why is this earth hanging on nothing? A child was born. He began to tell everybody who killed him in his former life. He began to tell everybody where he lived in his former life. He began to tell everybody where he was buried in his former life. And then investigations began. Detectives went to investigate the place. They saw the bones, his former bones. They saw him as a dead body, the child. And they were able to solve the murder case and were able to arrest the person who killed him. When I realized, I said, no, there is much more than we think that are in this world. You would have to go and research on Cameron Macaulay. Research on that name. And there are so many other videos on reincarnation that made me conclude there was infinite intelligence. Be the master of time. And to be a master of time is not easy. Somebody once said, or somebody, an anonymous person once said that when one is young, one doesn't know anything. One is not wise. When one is young, one is whiling away his time. But as soon as one gets old, one becomes wise. By that time, you are about to go. So the wisdom will not profit much. When you are young, you are not wise. When you are older, you are wise. So this wisdom, you will just impart it to your children, because you are not making use of it, or you won't make use of it as much as you would have made use of it when you were younger. My religion is not Christianity. It is the universe. It has no common Bible yet. But The Secret by Rhonda Byrne is very close. All religious beliefs draw from the same energy source of good and bad in the universe. No one has the final truth. I am a Christian and yet a universalist too. Before I said I wasn't a Christian, but what I mean is that I wasn't a Christian alone. I am a Christian and a universalist too. This means I look at the actions of Jesus and learn from them. He ate with sinners. I eat with sinners. He had female friends. I have female friends. And I try to maintain healthy relationships with them. He said to give to Caesar their due taxes. This I do. He said to love my neighbors. So I do so myself. He washed the feet of his disciples. I am building my character to do the same in any leadership position I find myself. He had no church. Jesus had no church, which he built and asked everyone to sow seeds into. Jesus never did that. I therefore regard churches with suspicion. He fellowshipped with like minds, not touched with them. I try to do this. He respected other religions. Jesus respected other religions, especially Judaism. Jesus respected Judaism. For he went to their temples, preached in their temples, and pursued people who use the big temple for business transactions. He didn't say that I am a chosen, so I cannot talk to a Catholic. I'm a Catholic, so I cannot talk to Anglican. Jesus never did that. Jesus went to the temples and he knew they were practicing another religion, and he was there with them. Then today, I see various business transactions becoming every Sunday right within churches. Jesus went around with his disciples, preaching and healing people without demanding for gate fees. Today, pastors will come to a particular place and demand for gate fees for people to come into the crusade ground. Gate fees. Honestly, my heart shakes in utter fear, for I look around and see that hardly any pastor lives like Jesus. No hard feelings, yet I respect those of them who have high moral standards, but their humble actions, not haughty words. God is above religion. Therefore, it follows that all good people, whether they are Christians, real dubious, Muslims, Hindus, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, Taoists, etc., will go to heaven. All good people, no matter who they are.